The scene is now set in Canberra for tomorrow's leadership showdown between Julia Gillard and Kevin Rudd. Some of Mr Rudds' backers are now conceding his resurrection as Prime Minister is unlikely for now, with the number of MPs against him 2-1.
Kevin Rudd leaves church as the numbers say he doesn't have a prayer.
Do you need a miracle to win tomorrow?
As a disabled choir
and darling, stand by me.
Sings Julia Gillard's message to the Labor caucus.
Stand by me.
And it seems the caucus will stand by her as one minister ramped up his support for Kevin Rudd.
The man who beat John Howard is best placed to beat Tony Abbott.
While another minister supporting Mr Rudd conceded it was all in vain.
Public indications would suggest that Julia Gillard will win.
As the media stakeout at Mr Rudd's house wound down on a sweet note, iced Vovos.
Is this a peace offering?
No, we've enjoyed you spending the last 3 days with us.
Peter Garrett, demoted by Mr Rudd over the home insulation fiasco, said he wouldn't work under him again.
I wouldn't seek to serve in his ministry, even if he chose to ask me.
While Treasurer Wayne Swan continued his attacks on Mr Rudd.
He's put his personal interests ahead of the party's interests and ahead of the national interest.
Mr Rudd said he feared the verbal assaults on him wouldn't stop if he does lose.
What I already sense is the emergence of round 2 of a campaign. The process of character assassination of yours truly.
As both candidates called for healing.
I believe we will unite following tomorrow's ballot.
It's time for us to unite rather than to divide.
Both sides concede it's now just a question of how badly Kevin Rudd loses and what he does next. Some of his supporters are already talking about trying to draft him into the leadership without a vote, unless Labor's electoral fortunes improve sharply in coming months. Mr Rudd repeated his promise today not to mount a second challenge.
She will have my unequivocal support between now and the next election.
Although his chief strategist Bruce Hawker suggested he may be drafted back if events force Ms Gillard to stand down.
You can't rule out those options, I think, in my view. That's my personal view.
Labor MPs started gathering in Canberra this afternoon.
Well, I'm strongly supporting the Prime Minister.
I support stability. I support the Prime Minister.
Look, I do think Julia will win easily.
Suggesting they will vote along the lines of the Prime Minister's footy jumper today. Gillard won. And prevent Kevin's second coming. This time. Mark Riley, 7 News.
And political editor Mark Riley is in Canberra. And Mark, after tomorrow, is there any chance of the leadership issue being put to rest once and for all?
Well, not necessarily, Sharon. It does look like being a comprehensive victory tomorrow for Julia Gillard. She's got something around 70 votes and Kevin Rudd around 30. And the Gillard camp is saying they want to use that victory to hit the restart button on this government. But if the government continues to sputter in the polls and do as badly as it has over the past year, then you can bet we'll be back here in maybe just a few months talking about Kevin Rudd again, or perhaps even another candidate. Sharon?